Good morning. My name is Regina Maria Lara Estrada, and today I'm gonna be analyzing the case study of Gideon Steel. Is someone really born too late to lead? Let's jump into the situation analysis of this company. Gideon Steel is a family enterprise located in Santa Ana, California. This family enterprise right now is having a little bit of trouble into deciding whom should take a lead position in the company. Charlie, the founder of the company, is now 67 years old, and he wants his younger son Peter to take the vice president position. But Frank and Robert, his two older sons, are really skeptical with this idea and do not agree with his father's suggestion. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the personality of each of the brothers. We're gonna start with Robert, which is the older brother. He has been in the company for more than 16 years. He studied business administration. He's a very careful and analytical executive. He has a lot of managerial experience, and he is not okay with the idea of Peter, his younger brother, to be the vice president. There's also Frank, which is currently the vice president of the company. He studied accounting. He's very close to Frank because of their ages, and even though he agrees with Robert's ideas, he never really shows personal disapproval on the case study. It's only said that Robert and Frank have the same ideas, but he never personally speaks about it. Peter, on the other hand, is the younger brother. He is 10 years younger. He's currently the sales manager of the company. He's a very eager, innovative, and has proven to be a really good leader even when he was in college. He was the president of the student body, and he was also part of a directive board in another company before working for his father. The problem is sometimes he's too aggressive when pushing his ideas in, and he doesn't really plan them. He just wants to make them without any kind of analysis. Now let's move on to the share distribution of the company. The 45%, of course, the majority of the company remains on Charlie and Susie's ownership. Charlie and Susie are a couple. They are the mother and father of the three brothers. Frank and Robert have a 22% of shares in the company, and Peter only has an 11%. There are some key questions of this case which will be answered during the analysis of this case, and they are: was Peter born too late to lead? Meaning, is he too younger to be a leader? Is Peter really ready to take a directive position because he's younger? So how will Frank and Robert react if Peter did get the vice president position? Could the brothers really share control in the company, or someone should only have the control? And last but not least, should the problem be solved between the brothers and communicating between them, or his father Charlie should continue to be the strong hand in the decisions? We're gonna talk about it now. Now we're gonna jump into the challenges this company is facing in order to make some recommendations for each of them, and also to answer the questions said before. So let's talk about the challenge number one, that are the logistics. The company right now is having a lot of trouble with his clients because the clients believe that they are sometimes delivering the products too late. So Peter is suggesting that the company now leases its own trucks rather than continue with the freight shippers. So the other challenge this company is facing is the job positions. I mean, Frank and Robert have president and vice president, but Peter, his father, is suggesting that he becomes vice president. Also, there's a lot of trouble in the communication between brothers, especially. The problem is not really with the father. The three brothers do not share the same idea sometimes, so they are having some trouble communicating in between them. Another of the challenges that are really important is the openness. Frank and Robert sometimes don't seem to be too open-minded on new ideas that Peter is proposing, and that these new ideas could also do something good for the company. Another challenge is the strategic planning. As I said before, Peter does not really plans a lot his ideas, so it's something that needs to be done in order to gain success in each project. Also, another of the challenges that this company is facing are the suppliers. Frank and Robert believe that they should stay with national suppliers because they have been building that relationship for 10 years and they are not open to change. but Peter is recommending for them to change the suppliers from Japan and Korea because they have better quality and better prices. And that, of course, will raise the value of the products of the company. So it's an important idea to be taken into consideration. We also should discuss that Peter is not, Frank and Robert do not see Peter as someone who is competent to be in the vice president position just because he's too young. So the recommendations I would like to make for this case is, first of all, assign each other responsibilities and also design timetables in order to get things done and also being done on time. It's very important to keep an eye on this because if not, the projects will not work even though they come from Peter, Robert, or Frank. Also, each project should have a cost analysis. They also should have a timetable. The risk and opportunities should be taken into consideration, and all the memos of each project should be sent to all of the members of the directive board. I believe that Peter does deserve at least a chance to be the vice president, so my recommendation would be that Peter is on a fiscal year probation in order to prove that he's competent for the position and show his brothers that he can do good things. And he would also have to give measurable and positive results for the company. If he doesn't prove to be competent, he will return to be a sales manager and keep working in order to get that leading position that he wants. Another of the recommendations I would like to make, in the case it is mentioned that Charlie wants to sell more stocks to Peter, I believe that he first should wait to see if Peter is really competent for the leading position in order to give him more stocks. So he should wait at least that fiscal year. Also, it must be suggested to Robert and Frank to be more open-minded with the ideas that Peter have, because he gives idea to make the company even more competitive and give better quality. Also, one of the most important parts of the recommendations I'm making is redesigning the organization chart, because I don't believe the brothers should be taking decisions in the same area. Each brother should be taking decisions in different areas so that they don't argue and they don't have further problems. But also for Peter, he must be open to learn from his brothers, because of the time they have worked in the company, they at least know one thing or two he doesn't. So it is important for him to gain some experience from his brothers. They must work together as a team and as the family they are. This is the organization chart I'm proposing. Is an organization chart by processes. Is the best thing because that way each of the brothers keeps the position they want, so they are all happy and they can all take good decisions for the company. So in the top there would be the shareholder assembly as it was. Next, the CEO, which will keep Robert in that position. Frank will also keep his position as a vice president, but he will be only in charge of the accounting and finance and the quality managers. And the second vice president should be Peter, and he would be in charge of the sales manager and the logistic manager in order to now promote his projects that he wants to be taken into consideration in the company. Here are the risks and opportunities the company could face if these recommendations are applied. As you can see, there are more opportunities than risks in all of these recommendations. The risks are, most of them are emotional risks. For example, Frank and Robert remaining skeptical because they still don't believe Peter should have a directive position. Also, the other risk is that Peter fails at delivering positive results because of him being sometimes too rushed on his ideas. And the other risk, and the most important risk, is that the family breaks up, and so does the company. But there are a lot of opportunities also. The new trucks and suppliers would be giving more satisfaction to the customers because they would have their products faster and it would be cheaper and for better quality for them. Also, Peter, Frank, and Robert could work together and make a really good team with the innovation that Peter apports and the experience that Frank and Robert have. Also, now that Peter has this vice president position, he's now more motivated and will give even more ideas to the company. Now he's motivated and he feels like he's important and he's playing an important role in the decisions of the company. Also, Frank and Robert will get the recognition they wanted because they keep their positions, and now they can teach their younger brother in order to have more people with more experience and different ideas. Also, the strategic planning that I am suggesting will lead to more revenue, since all of the projects will be carefully analyzed and all of the members of the board would be happy. Charlie is happy that his son Peter is getting the vice president position, and also Frank and Robert get the safety they are wanting. Thank you.